Hi everyone, how are you doing? Can you hear me? We're having technical difficulties today. Put it this way too.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yay. Sean can hear me. Yay, hi Lena. Okay, so many things to talk about like we do every single week. I can't believe it's our third live. Can you guys believe that? Third. I'm getting a note that says, do I want to connect to my AirPods? Should I do it?
No.
I'm gonna try it.
Don't
Hold on.
mess with anything.
No, let me try.
No, that's okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? I pushed connect and didn't make a chime in my ear. Okay. Huh?
I got you.
You can still hear me? Okay. Sean can hear me. Okay. Well, yay, happy Friday. I can't believe it's come. It's like 7 days. And it's here again. It's Friday. But another day. So glad to be alive. Right, Sean?
Yes.
What are you thankful for today?
Me?
Yeah.
For a beautiful day outside.
It
I
is.
had a great walk with Kara.
Oh yeah, they walked to pick up some prescription for Shane. Shane has a couple of styes in his eyes. So I dropped Sean off and I headed off to lunch. So and then after that, Sean walked home from the store. So very good. I went to lunch with my girlfriend, Jennifer. We've known each other, I think maybe 14 years. I mean, time flies. She's a client of mine, and she's been married for 13 years. And I met her before that because we did the engagement photos. We worked on her wedding day, and we just caught up, and it was just so lovely. She has a brand new baby. Her name is Cece or Celine. So, and just loved just hanging out with her and just catching up on life. And yes, a warm compress. Yes, we did that. We also did the tea where you put the tea, and you're supposed to use like a spoon to kind of keep the heat going. And it did a good job. It brought the sty to the top, and he has two, and it became like the white part that had like all the pus. It came to the surface, which was great. And then I'm like, what do I do? I like to I'm like a pimple popper. So I was like, oh no, do I go in and like pop that sty? And everything it said, do not pop the sty. I totally would have done it, but it said not to. So then we decided to take him to the doctor to get some medicine. And during that time, it was like leaking a little bit of the pus. So it's still swollen. It still has some of the little white head to it, but not as much pus. So hopefully he feels better soon. But poor kid, he's had it all his life. We went a few years without it, and I think it's coming back either due to stress because he's very stressed about school, or it could be just the allergies right now that are really affecting all of us. Myself, Sean, are you feeling? Sometimes, yeah.
My throat is a little.
Yeah, but for me, most of the time, it's just like I didn't know allergies could start. It's silly, but I didn't think it would start this early. But I have a girlfriend, actually my paralegal, who's like, Katie, it's a season for, having a lot of the allergies, and, her kids have it where the allergies manifest into like an illness, like a cold. So when she said that, I'm like, oh my God, is that why my throat is swollen? And it's really like, I'm not sick, and it's due to the allergies. So that's when I take my meds and kind of do my inhalers and things like that. So I feel better now, and, trying to be more religious about taking my meds. And Sean's very great at it. He's a good reminder. So yay, Sean. Okay, so much to catch up on and so much to talk about. So for real estate, give you an update because I'm your bestie, and thank you for, chiming in, and, please like and subscribe. and share if you can. I'd really appreciate that. Um, I'm just here to be a sister and a friend to all, and just to bring some positivity into our lives and to let you know that you're not alone. We're all trying to figure ourselves out, our purpose, through our pain. And just like how you're trying to figure yourself out, I'm trying to do the same. And I had a discussion with my friend Jennifer at lunch, kind of about like, how come I'm doing all these things? She says, I can't keep up with you. One moment you're in Joshua Tree, because we sell homes. And she's like, the next moment you're in Big Bear. Hold on, we have a visitor. Come on, visitor. Who do we have here today?
Kara.
Little Miss Kara May. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, I love your lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should do after?
Yes.
Thought of.
What should we
do? A live for Kara, and she can talk about the show last night. We shouldn't talk about it now. We should talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do a separate episode after Mommy's episode. This is the work stuff, professional life stuff that we're going through. And just kind of talking about it. But look, can you come in and look, this is the next Katie B. It's Kara B. She's got her makeup on and she's got her, oh, look at that is a beautiful color. It matches your outfit perfectly. Yes. Lena says, it's Kara B. But yeah, you're all over the place. You have a teleporting machine. That's the secret. Kara knows all about teleporting. I learned about teleporting through her through like, what was it that you'd play? Roblox?
Yeah.
Oh, and you even have eyeshadow.
I put glitter.
It's glitter. You're here. You're ready. Yeah, you're beautiful. I was telling my friend how I tell you that you're beautiful, but your heart is even prettier.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to, Alina says, good choices on your makeup. Yeah, we're fabulous, huh? So, do you want to say anything? Do you want to talk about anything today?
No, just the frozen after.
Oh, okay. We'll do that on the next episode. How's that? Okay. But Kara does want to invite you to my Valentine's event that I'm having. Do you want to pull that down? Like, she put some balloons in my office so that I could be happy when I'm working. She says Mommy works a lot.
I put it in a hair clip.
Oh, and a little cute hair clip.
And then I wrap it around so that Jelly wouldn't jump up and try to eat the strings.
That's our cat, so they don't eat the strings. But we got lots of balloons.
There's even more. Can I go get the rest?
Yeah, you can get the rest. So we have lots of balloons. I love balloons. It's something about it just is so special. I don't know if it's because the helium is magical and it goes up, but just something about balloons that just fills my heart. And I'm grateful for a husband who likes to support what I love.
This is
I rough you. It's a dog. That's cute.
And then this is Wild About You.
I'm wild about you. These are her balloons from her daddy to her. Right? Daddy gave you those?
Then Shane
got some balloons too.
You got balloons.
And I got balloons. Lots of balloons. So you could tell we have a lot of balloons in our house. Life's too short to, not enjoy life. And so these are the small things that bring us joy in our lives. These are for Shane. So let's check out Shane's.
If you got a piece of my heart, if you got a piece of my pizza.
Yeah. There we go. And then the next one.
This is
That's about you. Yeah.
It was Daddy's, but Shane took it.
Yeah, that was Mommy to Daddy. Yeah. Okay.
And more.
We have one more, and then we will continue. I just want to say, if you guys happen to see my latest post, like not my countdown, but my reminder for everybody to kind of chime in because I have a show that's coming on.
Your balloons. Daddy got you those three. He got you these two balloons.
Oh yes, you got me all those balloons.
You got,
and what is it?
Including those. This one is whole llama love. It's a
Whole
lot
llama
of-
love. A whole lot of love. We have this saying for lawyers or law moms. So we call ourselves llamas for law moms. So I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. Okay. Thank you.
And then the last one is Be Mine.
Oh, and it's a bee.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Thank you. We have a just balloon fest here. Right, Kara?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
We will tune in to Kara's half coming up soon. Let me just, if you can give me just a second, I am going to post about my my live really quick on 2 places. Okay. And then one on my Instagram. How do I do that? Give me a second. See. Sean, can you keep the story alive right now while I post?
I should be posting for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
next time.
You should be talking.
Yeah, let me just kind of
I need to get.
add my link really quick.
What do we-
Or you know what? We can actually even just do a live on a live. Is that crazy? Can you do a live on a live?
I think so.
Maybe.
No.
Let's do it. Why not? You know, we got you a filter. All right. Hey, we're live. We are live on Instagram and on YouTube. And I look fantastic on Instagram because I have a filter on. Oh my goodness. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so continuing to what I was saying is, I got to give you a real estate update. Alive and alive. Picture in picture, like this. Something like that. Okay. So, quick real estate update. You know, last week we saw a change in the market where our offers there were multiple offers and we were seeing offers go above list price. And hi Tina, hi Becky, hi Priscilla. So we were thinking, oh, good. The market has definitely shifted, the real estate market. But then this week, you know, there's an increase in interest rates. So what we're seeing right now is that there is just kind of like a steady market. I was watching someone who's giving us a market update, and he was talking about handcuffs that people aren't putting their houses on the market, you know, so there's very low inventory. And because of the low inventory, and even though the interest rates are high, people are still putting an offer into homes. And that's how we were kind of seeing a kind of peak a little bit last week. But with interest rate going up, so yeah, I was watching this update and he was talking about handcuffs. He was saying that these homeowners, you know, they love their loan, right? They love their interest rate, but they don't love their home. So they're handcuffed to their house. So that's the situation. And I thought that was a great analogy. And he was like, and if you subscribe, use my code, you know, handcuffs. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, you know, I'm going to be interested to see, you know, with the interest rates going up, I think it may change the market just a little bit. But again, I think with those who, like myself, you know, kind of need to invest into properties because I want to be able to kind of lower my tax liabilities. You know, some of us are still going to have to purchase even though the interest rate is high. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but just so that you see. So last week we kind of peaked. We had so many offers, open houses. We saw people lined up outside. Even our neighbor is selling, and she had a huge line of people seeing her home, their home But it's kind of tapering off this week. So that's that. So then on to the Alec Murdaugh case. That is really interesting. I want to give you guys a quick update about really what's going on, just my insight. We're not doing a play by play, and that will be coming up very soon, where I can do like a screen on screen where you could see, we could watch the case together. I could show a clip and I can comment on it. But here, since we don't have that program yet, I'll just give like a high level. This week, what we're seeing is still, from an attorney's perspective, I feel that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm seeing so many things going on right now. Yes, Pia, that's correct. Once the rates go down, it is going to create bidding wars again. I really think it's a great time to buy, as I'm banking on the fact that you can refi later. It's just not going to be sustainable to have this high of an interest rate for many years. And I think if you were in the situation during COVID where homes are being overbid by $100,000, $200,000 above list, and you couldn't get in then because you had to pay that difference of your appraisal gap. So, the loan only covers up to a certain amount of the true value of the home, and then you're bidding above it. The lenders aren't covering that gap. Because if you ever fell short and they had a resale, they would only sell up to what they believe the value is. And if they gave you a loan that was worth higher, they would lose out on that money. So if you were in that situation where you were going out, and we had clients like that who were going out, couldn't bid, and they didn't have all that cash. I mean, now it's a fantastic time. Your interest rate may be higher, but you could put down 5 to 10% down on a house and still get your offer accepted. And so you could even get, your price lower. I was getting homes of, 10, 20, 30, and even one home I was able to get for $40,000 less than list price. And it appraised for list price. So, it's a great opportunity to buy. Just hang tight, do the Asian thing, eat some ramen. And, during that time, I would say, the end of this year, and maybe a little bit into next year, but really budget yourself for that higher interest rate, higher mortgage. Um, and then, when you refi, you'll be saving yourself some money, $500-$600, maybe even more, just depends on where the market is. Pia says, main thing is to start with your max comfortable mortgage payment, start from there. Yeah, and I really feel like, maybe not buy something. I always tell people, maybe don't buy something that you absolutely love and you want to be in right now. Buy something that you can afford just to get in the market. So because with California, you're really getting the appreciation. Our market is unlike anywhere else. One of my friend lenders, his name is he was telling me yesterday that he was at a Twilight open house, and he says, it's like 5,000 square feet, but it was going for like 9 million, and it's like only in California you could get that, obviously because of the location. It's near the ocean and probably at ocean views. But in California, get into something, that's not your dream home, but know that you can and use that a couple years later to really get into something that you want even more, because you're going to have that equity, and sell. So we go what we call a leg up purchase. So you get like a townhome, that you love, live in it for a couple years. It appreciates like 100,000 or so. And then you take that 100,000 plus the down payment that you put, and you use that toward your up leg. So you just got to really be really creative. But Pia, thank you so much for giving me your input. I really appreciate it. But hi, welcome everyone. I have a new show thing that I'm doing. It's my YouTube lives, but I just happen to try to stream on Instagram to see how it would do. And it's called YourREALbestie, and the real part is real estate and law. So I'll be talking about both. I'll be talking about real estate. I'll be also sharing kind of market updates, what I've been seeing, if I see anything shifting, if there's any good deals, I like to share too. Because actually last week I had a listing. It was an Airbnb for $350,000, fully renovated. It is already a short-term rental. It does very well. And it's not that it didn't do well, because sometimes people have that understanding and the misconception that maybe someone is selling a property or a unit because they're not making money. It's not that. A lot of times what I'll see is we're moving money around. So whether they're moving it because they need to invest into a commercial building, or they want to buy another unit, another property in where they would vacation. So they can use it for not only business but for pleasure as well, like a vacation rental that's nearby, or they need the money, let's say, to do a renovation or to invest in another business like a restaurant. So this opportunity just came up, and it was so busy that listing. We had a lot of traffic, and within a day we had an offer, and it was just too good to pass up. So we ended up our sellers ended up accepting the offer. But it's just so crazy, the market changes so quick. And I think it's about understanding the market. Also, I wish so I'm having this type of show, or, however you want to call it, podcast. I don't know which direction I'm going. I'm still trying to figure it out. But because I just feel like I wish I had someone who would have taught me or helped me understand how to be responsible and smart with my money. Sean and I have made lots of purchases before in real estate. And, we think back and we're like, gosh, we should have kept onto that property and then we should have like cashed out, refi, and bought another property. But, we didn't. We had parents and my parents, I got into real estate because my dad, he does invest into, he had a lot of homes and he bought an apartment building. And so I've seen it. And so, but I never really I guess when I was younger in my 20s, I didn't really ask him about oh, how do I acquire a new one? So I would sell my old home, take that money, and then buy a new one. But now I'm like, oh, I should have kept it. One of the homes that we got in 2009, it wasn't our first home. 2009, it was 3,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bath, with a total Mediterranean feel and a rotunda in the front that looked like a castle. I told Sean I wanted a castle, so he bought me a home that looked like a castle in the front. I think we got it for $265,000. It was in Temecula. It's they had told us that before the market crash, that home was valued 600 to 700,000. And we just couldn't believe it. And when the market crashed, the home was rough. It needed a lot of repairs. And back then, for those foreclosures that were happening, people were stealing everything. They took the refrigerator, the stove, the microwave. They damaged up the walls, I think, because a lot of the homeowners were upset about how their, loans had ballooned and these payments were unreasonable. So they took their anger out on their home. So even though we got it for 265,000, which now is about probably 700 or more $1,000 for our home, there was lots of wall damage. They took, everything and anything you name, they took handles. Some people even damaged the toilets by stuffing things in there. It was so rough. And then even at that time when we were looking too, do you remember Las Vegas, Sean? It was homes for $90,000.
Yeah.
Insane. If I could go back in that market and be smart about it and have known really great lenders, hey, Pia, come on, we would be in a good situation. But then, we were young, we were afraid, we were not educated. So, Lena here, my friend, says real estate is a great way to leverage debt. It is. It's a great way where they call home ownership as a way to wealth. And I feel like it's a long-term investment. You put in your money and sometimes you have to overpay. But I was at a lunch with an appraiser this week, and she was like, you're never overpaying. You just got to hold it, and it'll get you further, as far as the money will catch up, the value of your home will catch up to how much you paid, and then it'll go over it. So, but yeah. Okay. Lena says, and it's something physical versus stocks and bonds. It's just a piece of paper and number. Yeah. And, and then, so I had lunch, I had a Valentine's, earlier this week. I think it was Wednesday. And we went to have a really cute, we went to have high tea in San Juan Capistrano. And we enjoyed some really good sandwiches, some soup, lots of tea. I mean, I drank so much tea because it was so good. I had a mango green tea. I had so much tea. I was wired all night until like I think 2:30, and I had to take melatonin because I'm like, I can't sleep. Um, we had such a great time. But one of the great things that we had talked about, with the other ladies and I, we were talking about how, this is just my tip to you is like if you have, let's say, two children, which I do, uh, you know, they were suggesting that their mentors had said for each child you should have a home because then that's like their college education. And I thought that's really smart, because that's true. So you invest now, and then however you want to either sell or you want to pull the equity from it, you could help put it toward their education. And I thought that was really great. So, hi, friends. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We are just, hi, Nastasia. You know, I just love this so much because it's an opportunity for me to connect with so many people that I haven't either connected with or it's been a really long time. So Nastasia, and I don't know if she's still here and if she can hear me, but I'm going to give her a wave, is that we had lived in Colorado. I live in California right now, but we lived in Colorado. We bought our first home. Hi, Nastasia. So, and then somehow, some way, I don't remember what it was, how it was, but we needed furniture. We had moved from California. We literally packed up nothing because we had just finished law school, and we probably just packed all my clothes, which is I thought was probably a lot of things. But we came there. We had bought a house. And we had no furniture. So then I don't know how it was. Maybe it was Craigslist popular?
Craigslist or something like that.
Yeah, or
Whatever
MySpace.
was
I don't know.
popular then.
Nastasia, maybe you remember, but we went to Nastasia's family furniture store. And while we were buying the furniture, I tell her about, my makeup line that I had, which I no longer have at this time. We closed it down last year. COVID just was terrible and just didn't work out for us. It killed our business. Um, and I start telling Nastasia, like, hey, Amanda, oh, Craigslist. Yes, yes. And that was new. That was really, really new. Yeah. So we went in and we just kicked it off. I mean, I don't know. She was just so sweet. Her family was so sweet. I remember her dad. God bless his soul. He was such a sweet man. And, we had furniture. We had their furniture for a really long time, like 10 years or more, Sean?
Probably.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even when Shane was born and yeah. So we always think about you, your family, how precious you guys are. You're always in our prayers. And then through the years, Nastasia and I have, kind of journeyed through life. And I love watching her grow and become the woman she is today. And that's really the point of having all of this is to share my experience. It's not necessarily, I'm here to promote anything. No, I'm here to share my life. And a quick recap is, I had lost my son in November of 2022. I had a stillbirth and he was confirmed to have trisomy 18. I just thought, that all these things that I had put on my back burner of just like passion projects, like, why am I not doing it? What's stopping me? Was it because I'm too busy? Was I too afraid? Um, and I'm not a person that like shies back and is afraid of being in the public. That's not me. But there are moments where I don't want to put myself out there because when you do, you stick your head out there, you kind of put yourself out for criticism or people who don't love you and who can't share your joy. I always tell others like there's so much room at the top, and so I don't know why we would have to um, be jealous or not be enthusiastic for someone else's success. Like we should all share in their journey because one of the things I learned, I had coaching, executive coaching a few years ago. And it's one of those things like we don't know what the other people did to get to the top. And so we don't know their sacrifices, So to not celebrate them in their achievements, I just think could be like a selfish way to think. And so I say that to say that through the passing of our son, I just said, hey, why don't I just do all those things that I've been wanting to do? Which is, I've always wanted to have some type of podcast. I am such a true like podcast person. If I'm putting my makeup on, I'm listening to someone inspirational. If I'm going to sleep, I'm listening to something, very deep and inspiring. And anything in between the day, I'm listening to true crimes. I'm just always trying to like grow. Um, in wisdom, in kindness, in my faith. And so I've been on that journey, and I just thought, well, here, it's perfect time. So that's how I came up with the idea of having, your real bestie show. Um, so thank you guys so much. And again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I'm on YouTube. I know that we have quite a few right now on Instagram. But just know that I'm going to be doing it every Friday, and it's going to be about 2 p.m. I try to have lunches now. I try to like connect. And I think one of the other things that I grew from the loss and through the grief is like really to have meaningful relationships. And so I'm trying to have more lunches and make time for friends that I normally kind of be like, oh, I gotta work. um and with that, I was going live around 1, but I realized lunch is at 12, and I don't eat quick, and I chat a lot. I love to talk, and that's why we're having the show. So now I've starting lunch at 11. That gives me till 1, and then 30 minutes to drive home, and then going live at 2. So Fridays at 2, every Friday at 2, or at least I'll try to let you guys kind of know what's going on in my life. Okay, so with that, let's do. Oh, and also, by the way, the coolest thing is that I got my first invite, you guys, and she's writing to you right now. My first invite. And to my kind of like another show. So another YouTube Facebook Live has invited me to be on their show. And I'm so excited because it's like my first invite. I just started the show. And so it's really, really exciting. So she's just confirming. But also, I wanted to let you know that I am hosting a Valentine's event. If you guys are in Orange County, or you can make it to Orange County this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at Nova Restaurant in Orange County. Please let me know if you can, because it's a limited number of seating, and it's not a hi Allie, thank you so much. And it's not a networking event, because I know a lot of people, because like people ask me, why am I hosting this event? It's a Valentine's party. I know Valentine's has passed. And people are like, why are you having this, gathering? And I just feel that there's a lot of events I get invited to. So like early March, I have like they call it C-suite executive networking event. And it's where all like the CEOs, CFOs, anyone that's an high executive position gets invited to. And you kind of learn about like the new investments and new projects people are having. Where's the market going? Where should you be funding your money? And just like kind of all these things. Or, one person can offer a service to another person. For me, I love those events. I'm so grateful that I get to go. But I also want an event where like I can just go and meet a sister and a friend, and not necessarily because for business. I think if I do something that I love in my life and I treat people well, the business will come. If you have like dollar signs on your eyes, I just, for me, maybe, I don't know. I can sense it, and I don't feel like it's genuine. So for me, I just do things based off the goodness of my heart, and I feel like God will always provide, and there's always enough. And you have to come from a place of abundance and not a place of like not having enough. And so with that, I just do everything from my heart. But so I'm having this Valentine's event that you're all invited to, just so that you can come. And we're going to be doing uh it's called like vision planning. So it's basically your vision board that we're going to put together, and we're just gonna share and get to know one another and be friends with one another. I don't know what it's gonna lead to, but I just feel like I have such a different, unique group of friends in all the areas and aspects of my life. And I kind of want to just kind of let everybody kind of meet and like get to know each other. And if they can be support for one another, that's great. It's for people who are just trying to lead. And like I was saying earlier, when you lead, sometimes you come and you face like um, hostility. You face where are not supportive of you. So it's good to be surrounded by women who can be like, hey, I've been there. And I think would you do X, Y, and Z? Or, hey, I've been there. And I think um, that you shouldn't let that bother you because whatever their wisdom would be. I think it's very grateful to know that you're not alone and you have that friend or, this new person that you met who can walk you through it. So I think like that's really awesome to have. So, and the cool thing too is if you guys come, I'm going to do a raffle where you're going to get 2 tickets if you win, 2 tickets to go see Michelle Phan from M Cosmetics to speak at an event in Orange County. I got you. So I'm so excited about it because I think she used to go by Rice Bunny or Rice Paper Bunny. Do you remember Lena? I forget her name before everyone knew her as Michelle Phan. And we would write, we weren't besties, we were acquaintances. So we would write to one another, and I'm so happy for her that where she's gotten today. I'm so very proud of her. Oh, I know, right? Yeah. So Ali says, oh my gosh, if I live closer, but whoever does win, good luck. Oh, yes, Rice Bunny. So we used to chat, not a lot. And, I'm very excited for her and where she's gone in her journey. And so hey, I want to be there to support her. It's called like a boss, kind of like a boss babe event. And where they're going to share their journey and what's in the future for them. And I thought, hey, you know what? Whoever comes to my event, which is kind of exactly what we're having, but more on a sisterhood, that they can go to the event and join me because I have tickets too. So it's going to be like an awesome, awesome time. But that leaves me to be like, if you guys are on here, please join me on YouTube. APF Yang says, my sister's getting married in April. It would be a dream come true one day to have my makeup done by you. Oh, thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Allie Berry says, it's so funny you said that because when I was watching her, that's when I found you too in MySpace. Oh my God, you guys, this is going way back. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's makeup is still such a part of me, and I love the creativity. I love the people that I've met. Allie has been such a good friend of mine. If I think it's the right Allie, she's been so supportive, and I actually reached out to her in a journey that I went through for grief, and just so grateful that I think that's really what social media does. It kind of connects us all to let us feel okay. It's the same one, that you're not alone. I keep saying that, and I'm gonna hate myself later when I watch this. Like, how many times did I say that? But yeah, see, my eyes are getting teary because grief is hard, and I know we're all carrying our own burdens. I'm not the only one, and I'm thankful for social media to connect me with even somebody like Allie. She says it's been decades we have known each other on social media, and as if real life. So happy. Yes, I feel the same. So, I'm here, and that's part of the show is like, I'm calling myself a sister and a friend to all. Your real bestie. You're going to learn about some real estate. You're going to learn about some law. I'm going to talk about how to like invest, how to lower your taxes, because we're adulting. And I think that's all important. And then on top of it, how to grow as a woman, as a mother, as a friend. And I think those things should be talked about and should be discussed. Not necessarily about social media can also have a negative spin, right? Because you get to see like everyone's perfect life, and and then you could feel not as beautiful. And, it's not a comparison, right? It's like you were made for who you are. You're unique. God made you the way that you are. And I want you to see how beautiful you are and how special you are. Um, uh, Bye, Allie. Yeah, and so, we'll continue that conversation. Okay, on to my next topic though that I definitely want to talk about is because I want to do this under 60 minutes, so under an hour. But my other topic that I wanted to okay, so Galentine's, let me know if you want to go. We have limited seating. It's going to be a fun event. We are going to be playing games. We have that awesome raffle for Michelle Fan, M Cosmetics. And we're going to be doing our vision planning for not only for what we want in our future, but our personal life, some life goals, how we should think about things. We'll be covering that. But I also want to talk about my main topic, and I skipped Alec Murdaugh today, but my main topic that I wanted to talk about was this concept of one bowl, two spoons. So what is that? Um, and it really is about, like, how is life right now? Are you working so much that it's all work and no play? Life can get busy, with having a family, having responsibilities, with just working, with school. There's so many things that we are going through personally, and we want to achieve and we want to do well, but at the expense of what? And so I was listening to a podcast, which will always hear. I was listening to someone and she was talking about how she'd been mopping these beautiful floors for 20 years, 2 decades. She had a gorgeous home, a huge home that had seating for, like, queen and king's table. It had like 8 to 10 seats and it's all royal, and no one ever really sat there, and everything was just like abundance and big and beautiful. And as she was mopping, she had heard an episode of Oprah, and she was interviewing um, the son. And she was saying the son whose mother had cancer. And when the mother was diagnosed with cancer and it was terminal, they ended up doing like a bucket list. So it was everything that they've wanted to do, but they didn't do it until she was sick. And it was like the Disney World trip or Disneyland trip. It was all these like big magical things that, one would say skydiving or bungee jumping. And so Oprah had interviewed the son many years later and said, through all of this, what is the thing that you remember? And the memory that the son had was the moment him and his mother shared a bowl of Cheerios with two spoons. And it's like, that's all it took was um one bowl and two spoons, like, versus all these like extravagant fun things. And so after that, what she ended up doing, this lady who was hearing this, she sold her beautiful giant home, moved in a bungalow in Florida, where she sat outside most of the time because the house was so small, and she was watching sunsets. And she was saying like that was life for her. Like that truly was living in the moment, because she wasn't earning her way where she was paying off this big mortgage. She was just simplifying her life. So I say this to say, what is your one bowl and two spoons? What could you do to kind of maybe minimalize, like live your life minimally, where you could still experience life to the fullest? So um in this situation, my example, it's not necessarily the same, but I guess I could relate it to boba. But in my situation is my one bowl and two spoons happened this week. And it's just the things that I will remember. And I'll relate it to Sean. And he's just coming back, which is Sean doesn't drink coffee. He thinks it's bitter. he just doesn't understand our love for coffee. Right, Sean?
Correct.
Why don't you like coffee?
I don't like the taste.
Okay.
Also, it's really weak coffee.
Yeah. But you still could taste it. He's like a super
It's
taster.
okay, but yeah.
So Sean ends up making my coffee. And he made the coffee for me this week, and it's perfect. Like perfect from the how sweet it's supposed to be. It's never too sweet, and it's never too bitter. And he doesn't drink coffee. And then he gives it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Every woman should find a man, or vice versa, who can make you their morning coffee. So he does that for me. And I was like, this is my one bowl and 2 spoons. Like something that I'll always remember as like someone who hates coffee or just likes coffee is making me coffee because I love coffee. Now tell me that is not awesome. So yes, Lena did. Lena made coffee for her roommate every morning. Yeah, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Good for you. And that's probably her one bowl, 2 spoons. But I could say our one bowl, 2 spoons would be like us sharing like Thai tea or something. Like we go get a boba and we share it, right? And then Sean, isn't that one time like we had been together for so long, and like he's like a really plain eater, so it's like a salad with no dressing, and chicken breast is just like the craziest he'll get is blackened chicken. So for me, it's like I like sauce, so it's like salad, but I like 3 dressings because I can't decide, and it's just like it just depends on what I feel like when it's out. But I forget, where did we go when we actually shared a meal together? Do you remember, Sean?
No.
And I was like, oh no, I do remember. Lunar Girl.
Oh yeah.
And that just happened recently. And we've been together, you guys, for almost 20 years this June. Like, that's amazing. It's going to be a beautiful June. So yeah, so Sean and I shared our very first meal ever at Lunar Grill. And it felt so nice. That could be our one bowl, 2 spoons. Do you have one? I know you probably don't like me with the questions that I put you, but basically it's the moment where you'll remember. And it's not about like the fancy things. Like for me, even yesterday, so we went to Frozen, which we're going to have an episode next for Kara to talk about her first day experience. But it was seeing the awe, like the wonder in hers and Shane's eyes. When Shane's like, what happened? That happened too quick. Like that was too cool because there was a lot of magic in there. And I was just like, okay. Huh? Don't say too much. I would say, I mean, that involved money though, but it's definitely the one bowl, 2 spoons. So you tell me, Sean, what do you think? What will you remember? My one bowl, 2 spoon also that I talked about to my girlfriend today was the fact that we went to Frozen, and then during our party break, Sean went to get me water that I love, fancy water, and then he bought us cookies. And he is not a cookie guy. He doesn't want to be right now. So like he was holding the cookie for me to eat while we watched the show, and I just thought that was so cute too. He's smiling. I don't know. It's 1 bowl and 4 spoons. Yes. Yes, that was Frozen. Thank you. Okay, you guys. I'm waiting for Sean.
What are we waiting for?
You got to tell me what it is, and then I have 5 minutes.
Can it be you cooking? You're cooking?
Huh?
Your meal prep for meal.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining in. My meal prep. Okay, so he says...
Your yummy sandwiches that you started making last week.
Okay. So that's your one? That's something that you'll remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So...
I can still taste it.
The 1 bowl, 2 spoons. Sean asked me to make a sandwich. So I put a sandwich together. I mean, how hard can it be? And, he eats a little bit different. So I do the sandwich, the bread on the bottom. And then I put the ham and I fold it pretty. The turkey. And then we put the cheese. And then I put, okay. So I'll ask that question a bit, Lena. But yes, and then I put the lettuce on there, and then I put salt and pepper, and I gave it to him, and he's like, This is so good. Like all the ingredients you put on there. Yeah. So, but the difference was salt and pepper, and that's love. So he says like that's what he likes. Okay. So, so make sure you know that you make time to slow down. You know, really enjoy life and see what you could do with your one bowl, two spoons, or one bowl, four spoons is what I'm going through right now. You know, and really just kind of think about um, what you're doing in your life, how impactful you're being, like kind of be intentional. And I would also say through the passing of our son, uh, I think that I'm trying to be more, even more. I was already before, but even more intentional about having meaningful relationships um, with those in my life or new friends, you know, but just really being true to who I am, but also celebrating other people and making true connections and trying to be there for other people. So, so do the same. Okay. So that's all. That's all I have. But really quick too. So let's talk about the Alec Murdaugh case. I have a few minutes. From high level, just from an attorney's perspective and the background, in case you don't know, the Alec Murdaugh case is the the defendant, the father, is alleged to have murdered gruesomely, like just terribly, his wife and his son. So what I'm starting to see is that the as an attorney, we always say, that the defendant is innocent till proven guilty. Um, and what a lot of people don't know is they're trying to, it's a murder trial, and the prosecution it has brought in some financial crimes. Um, and the financial crimes are brought in allegedly on the facts that it goes to show motive. Um, but in law, we have this situations like, is it more prejudicial or probative? Like, is it really going to prove anything, or are you just going to like not like this guy because he's a bad man? He's stolen all this money from his law firm and taking away from his clients. Like, he's a horrible person. Generally, what I would normally see is like these situations where it's a criminal trial. You're not really introducing um civil um matters, especially since you haven't been tried on them. uh there's still allegations, although he did admit to some, but I feel like the information they're introducing is more prejudicial, so most likely the jurors are seeing him as, I'm sorry, uh, as more like he's just a bad person, so they're gonna just say that he killed his wife and son. However, um there's no evidence still. I just feel like there's still not enough evidence to show that he did commit those crimes, especially this week. And I think it was yesterday where they showed Alec, his admission to trying to, you know, um, was it his cousin who shot him in the head?
Yeah.
So after his wife and his son passed away, he still had one son who's alive, Buster. He thought like 3 months later, like, you know what, everything's just so bad right now. I just should just take my life. And so that my son can get the inheritance, which I think his life insurance is like $12 million. And he's like, but I can't kill myself because there's a clause in there saying that if you kill yourself, then you commit suicide, then this 12 million, you can't I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, you can't receive it. So he gets the cousin to come and shoot him in the head, and then it misses. He does get shot. It's like a millimeter off. He still survives. Um, and during this process, Alec admits to setting up this scenario, and they're trying to introduce it into court. Did they introduce it, Sean? Do you
Yes,
remember?
they
They
did.
did introduce it. But, you know, when you see, like, the clip of when his wife and the son passed away, you could see, like, he's really, really sad, and then when you see this admission of everything that's going on about him setting up his own, murder, you could see, like, he was really sad in the beginning, you know, and this he admits to everything. He commits to admits to his financial crimes. He admits to his own, um, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. What would you say it is? Like his own suicide.
Mhm.
You know, he admits to his own killing of himself, like setting up the whole situation. Um, he's a terrible guy. He's gonna go to jail for all that he's done to other people for financial crimes. But I don't know, just with the facts, I'm looking at it. I'm just weighing on the fact that, I think jurors are gonna be confused. They don't understand like these other civil crimes, financial crimes. So, how is that proving murder? How is it showing that the DNA was there, that he had the gunpowder residue on himself? I mean, where is the two guns that shot the two different people? Like those are gone, and then the timeline, he only had a few minutes in between to get rid of all these weapons. But then when he planned his own suicide, his own killing, he threw the gun across the street.
The knife.
Was it a gun or a knife?
It was
Sorry.
the knife he used to pop his tire.
Yeah, the knife to pop his tire. So that weapon, he like tossed it across the street. So it's kind of like he's not that smart of a criminal in a murder sense, so I really feel like people need to talk about, like, maybe the reason why Paul and um his mom Maggie was killed is maybe because people are upset at Paul, because Paul got into a boat accident that injured someone else. And
I think he killed someone.
yeah, and I believe I think he killed somebody. I just do want to say it, but he killed somebody else in a boat accident. Paul did, the son. And he was getting death threats by people on social media saying, like, they were going to take his life. So I think that those were the people who ended up killing the son and his mother because she happened to be there. And I really don't think that it was Alec, because every prosecution's witness has said, when they're getting interviewed, it was like, oh, the Paul, the son, and Alec were best friends. They loved hunting. They loved spending time together. And then Alec and his wife, Maggie, had a great relationship. It wasn't perfect, but they loved each other. And, um, they were the apple of each other's eyes, like all those details. Hi. Okay. So, hi, cousin. My cousin Tina is here. I love you. I miss you so much. Thank you for everything. I love you like so, so much, cousin. Thank you for tuning in. So that's my perspective, by the way, on the Alec Murdaugh case. I'm going to be interested to see how everything happens today and how it wraps up. But I'm really hoping that through all of this, I can be prepared for the Brian Kohlberger case, which is the case on the killing of the Idaho students, and then also um, on Brian Walsh, who killed his wife, who wanted a divorce, and chopped her up. I mean, it was so sad. He chopped her up, put her in bags, and I don't know if he knew, but he dropped her body off in allegedly. Okay, allegedly, the Brian Walsh dropped his wife's body off in like an apartment dumpster, and then they're not able to retrieve her body because it was through the incinerator. So I thought, like, either he got really lucky or he knew what he was doing. But they were able to pin him because there was like a lot of evidence in the basement. Allegedly, he purchased $400 worth of cleaning supplies to kind of like make it super spick and span in the basement. Um, so that he's going to be in for a wild one. That's going to be an interesting case. So we're just all, prepping for that. Another case too that's going to be interesting is what's that model one? Do you remember the model who's like beating up her boyfriend in the elevator,
Uh-huh.
and then
From OnlyFans.
from OnlyFans? Like that's going to be a good one. So beautiful girl, blonde hair, model on OnlyFans. has allegedly, my friend Sherry says, you are one sick individual if you chop up someone's body. Sick person. Yeah, how do you even do that? I mean, and I just, that's just mind blowing. Like, there's really something wrong with you. Yeah, I definitely agree, Sherry. Thank you for that. And so on this, on the OnlyFans case, she kills her boyfriend, and there's a lot of video evidence. Um, you could see, like, in the elevators when they go in and out, they like have a very tumultuous relationship. And you see in the video that, whenever they're fighting, she's like beating him up and he's just like chill. He just stands there, you know. He's not being aggressive back. He's just kind of like letting her either punch him or he's just like turning away. And I don't know, maybe because he knew there was a video in the elevator. We don't know. But you could see his natural propensity, which was he was just kind of being defensive and just like kind of like leave me alone. But she claims, and I'm not too sure, I haven't read into it, but I believe she claims that he was the aggressor. But there was a lot of elevator videos that showed that when they did get into fights, it was mostly her. And then there's also a video clip of the interrogation. So they take her into, they pick her up and they are interviewing her, asking her questions, that the girlfriend, like, what's going on? What's going on? How did this happen? And at that point, she didn't know that her boyfriend had died yet. And later on, and it's like an hour long, and she asks us questions about, hey, what about, ask us questions. And it relates to Miranda rights. Like, what if I call my dad? And like, cause my dad is kind of like my attorney, and for the Miranda rights, it's like once you ask for attorney, they have to stop asking questions. So it was like a lot of blurry areas, but essentially she eventually learns that her boyfriend passes away from the injuries that she put on him. And I believe it was stabbing. And then, and so, you see her meltdown and you see everything that goes on. And I know they're probably going to use that in trial. So that's going to be a good, interesting one to discuss. But you guys, we just have so many things to talk about. 1 hour is just not enough on a Friday. And, I just appreciate you tuning in so much. Let me know what you think about whether or not we should be on YouTube Live or IG Live or maybe both, Facebook Live. I'm more like a Facebook fan. I don't know, maybe because I'm older, but I do go into YouTube and watch YouTube lives for like the people that I really like watching. So let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe, especially my YouTube page. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm almost there. And we're gonna do maybe some type of raffle for us to give out once we get to 1,000. And I will see you guys next week. You guys stay blessed. I'm gonna say a quick prayer for all of us. If you want to join me, and just to send us off to have a great holiday weekend. Okay, so Sean, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Dear Lord, thank you so much for our friends and our family who have tuned in and are just being here with us live or even on our rewatch. We're just so grateful for their love and support. Please continue to bless them, keep them healthy, show them that they are loved, and please allow for us to have a wonderful holiday weekend, a safe one. We ask for your provision on their lives. We ask for your protection. And we just hope that, anything that they're going through, you give them the strength to continue the fight. And that they're able to have and make beautiful memories after, those rainy days, because we know that you are just so good. All right, everyone, in Jesus' name we say amen. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. All right, bye.